Hey everybody, welcome to Torah Tech Tips. I'm David, pastor here, Torah Tech Guy, and I am here to share with you some great tech for your great Torah. So here's what I wanted to talk about today. I want to talk about how do you get it done? Digital davening. One of the biggest challenges, I think, when it comes to leading services online, for me as a leader, is how do I still get to pray, right? How do I still get to have some sort of spiritual experience? And so I wanted to share with you today some of my goals when I'm leading digital davening, and then some of the key tools that I use in order to do that. So there are really three specific goals that I have when it comes to digital davening. The first is I want to produce a high quality production. So I want it to sound good. I want it to look good. I think that there's enough really high quality stuff out there that if you're not playing at a high level, people will shut you off. Now, that doesn't mean that it's all about the technology. I can't see. There's a thing in my glasses. It doesn't mean it's all about the technology or the production value, but I do think that that matters. It matters to me, if I'm participating in something, if the image is fuzzy or if I can't hear clearly or right, whatever it is, if the lighting isn't good, that all matters to me. And so I want to produce the best production that I possibly can for the people who I'm leading services for. The second is that I want whatever I'm doing to be interactive and responsive. I personally have no interest in davening on YouTube or on Facebook. I do everything in Zoom because I want to be able to see people's faces. I want to be able to hear their voices. I want to be able to respond to what I see, respond to the chat, bring that chat in, allow them to unmute and participate. This is about, for me, about creating a spiritual community. And so that is very, very important. And the third goal that I have is I want the tech to be invisible. I don't want to have to say, oh, hold on, let me screen share. Where's the button for this? And oh, that's right. I want things to work, and I want the tech to get out of the way so that I can be present in the moment. So there are a few different tools, software and hardware that I use that I wanted to share with you. This is not all of them, but these are, as I was thinking about sort of what are the key elements that help me be successful when I do this, these are some of them. The first, of course, is Ecamm. I use Ecamm Live. It allows me to build scenes, to have overlays, to seamlessly transition from one to the other. It routes my audio. It does all of that for me. It's Mac only. If you're interested more about that, head on over to torahtechguy.com/Ecamm. Ecamm Live is just fantastic if you're on a Mac for creating productions and services that are really high quality. The second tool is something you may not have heard of, which is Zoom OSC. So Zoom, we all know. Zoom OSC, there are two other Zooms. There's Zoom OSC and Zoom ISO. And depending on how you use them, they can both do similar things. What Zoom OSC does is it joins the meeting. So I join the meeting from another computer with Zoom OSC, and it is listening to everything that's happening in the meeting. It's listening to see who is where in my little gallery view. And it's listening to see whose mic is turned on, whose mic isn't turned on, who's spotlighted, who isn't spotlighted. And then I'm able to use Zoom OSC along with a companion app called Companion to manipulate and run my Zoom meetings with like a breeze. Just easy peasy. There's a hardware tool that goes along with these that allows me to do that, but Zoom OSC and Companion are absolutely key to what I do. You don't need to run them from another machine. You could use Zoom OSC as your main Zoom client. There's no reason why you can't do that. But these have really changed the way that I use Zoom and the way that I lead services. And the final sort of key tool, software tool that I use is Keynote. That's where I do all of my presentations, all of my siddurim that I create. All of that stuff happens right in Keynote. So how do all of these things work together so that I can especially make sure that the tech gets out of the way, that the tech's invisible? So there are two hardware tools. In fact, I'm using both of them right now that are really key for this. The first is the Stream Deck. I've talked about the Stream Deck before. The Stream Deck is it's an interface with a whole bunch of buttons on it. So I have a bunch of them here that I use. And what it allows you to do is to map actions to buttons. So if I want to mute on Zoom, I have a button for that. I don't have to go searching for the mute button. If I want to change scenes in Ecamm, I have a button for that. It does it. I don't have to go over. I never actually do anything in Zoom or Ecamm when I'm davening. Everything just lives on my Stream Deck. Now, I mentioned before that there's a hardware tool that goes along with Zoom OSC and Companion, and that is the Stream Deck also. Now, Stream Deck comes with its own software, but Companion is a different software to use with Stream Deck. It's open source, it's free. Zoom OSC you can get for free, but I want to encourage you to purchase that to support the creators of it. What Companion does is it allows you to do a lot more with your Stream Deck than what the built-in software allows you to do. So, for example, using Zoom OSC and Companion together, I can see on my Stream Deck, on those little buttons, I can see the names of everybody who's in my meeting without typing anything in. Because Zoom OSC is listening to who's in the meeting, Companion allows me to put those names right on my buttons. And then if I want to spotlight someone, I can press their name and then press a spotlight button on my Stream Deck. Instead of having to go to the participants panel, click on the more button next to their name, go down to spotlight or unspotlight or whatever, or do that from the gallery view, you don't have to do any of that. Using Zoom OSC, Companion, and a Stream Deck, it just puts buttons right on your Stream Deck that you can press and do all of these things. If we have a minute at the end, I'll show you what my Stream Deck actually looks like with Companion set up. And the second hardware tool that I use that really has become indispensable, and again, I'm using it right now also, is the Stream Deck pedal. Now, you don't need to get the Stream Deck pedal, but some sort of Bluetooth or USB pedal that allows you to, again, manipulate things as you're going along. So when I'm leading services, I've got Zoom that I'm trying to manage, and I've got the Keynote that's running, and I'm also playing guitar, and God forbid, I'm actually trying to pray also. By using a pedal at my feet, I don't have to worry about my hands. My hands can be busy playing the guitar, and I can go through my Keynote just by using my feet. That's actually all I use my Stream Deck pedal for. You could use it for a million other things, but for me, having a dedicated pedal just to go just to control Keynote is really has just been fantastic for me. Again, it keeps my hands free. I'm able to be more animated with my hands. I'm able to play guitar. I'm able to do whatever I need to do. And I know that I can easily go through my prayer book, through my prayer slides, just using my feet in using the Stream Deck pedal. So let me show you. Wait, I have to turn one thing on. Speaking about getting the tech out of the way, I didn't think I was actually going to do this, but I will. So actually, you know what? That's not going to look really good. Let me do this. I want to show you what Companion looks like on my computer. So I'm going to actually go over here. You can see I've got Companion up running on this computer. So you can see I have a spotlight, I have an add spot, I have a remove spotlight, I've got a spot me, I've got all those different things with all the buttons for the different gallery positions. Now, again, I don't have this plugged in right now. I'm not on Zoom. But if I were in Zoom, instead of gallery position, you would just see David Paskin, the person's name. You press that button, and then you press spotlight, and they're spotlit. You press that button, you press remove spotlight, and they're gone. I have a button just for spotlight me, right? Because most of the time, if I'm presenting, that's what I want to have. I want to have it spotlight on me. But I also want to be able to turn that off from time to time for everyone to be able to see the whole gallery. So these are some of the tools that make it really easy for me to do digital davening. So again, it's Ecamm Live, Zoom OSC, along with Companion, Keynote, and then the Stream Deck tools, Stream Deck, the buttons and the Stream Deck pedal. Those are some of the tools that allow me to get all this digital davening done, make it give it a high production value, really interactive. I can still focus on the Zoom participants instead of focusing on all the different stuff I have to worry about from a technology standpoint. And it gets a lot of the tech out of the way, just giving me simple buttons to press. I'm a simple guy, I just want simple buttons to press. If you want to learn more about some of these tools or how I use them, I want to encourage you to visit me over at TorahTechGuy.com. You can also like me here on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube or whatever you're supposed to do on those. Dahlia really wants me to show the dog, but she's not not in here right now, Dahlia. Sorry, she's out in the office playing. But that's what I got for you today. I hope that I will see you all soon. Next time on another Torah Tech Tips. Let's go digital daven.